Hey, it's Chandler here, and if you've been watching my YouTube channel, you may know that my most recent three uploads were videos that I had recorded for the purpose of being on George Ortega's show, Exploring the Illusion of Free Will. But there's something about it that I realized, and I realized there are a few things that go wrong. See, when George has me as his co-host and I do episodes for his show, I'm not being myself. And what I mean is, first of all, I'm constantly have my mind on trying to keep it around 12 minutes, and that's difficult for me to do because I get so sidetracked and I ramble on. I can't stay on topic. And so that's different than, say, the podcast, because in the podcast, other people help keep me on track when I stray too far off the topic. So that's another problem that I'm worried about trying to do it in a time limit, and I'm worried about trying to say things about the topic George wants the way he wants it. But I feel like that's not really me. And even he wants me to dress up a little bit for that. That's not really the way I am, and so it's out of character for me, And it's kind of interesting because I mean we all have to do things we don't like, right? We have to work jobs that we don't feel like working because we need money. That's the basic fact of life. You could say that's a law of nature in itself. But it's kind of interesting because when a person is doing something that somebody else wants them to do, but they don't want to do it, it doesn't mean the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean the same thing. It's sort of like let's say that a kid doesn't want to go to church, but he has to because his parents take him and make him go, for example. Or let's say you have a marriage between two people where one person wants sex and another person doesn't. And so when there's a mismatch of desires between two people and they each want different things, it's kind of difficult because it doesn't really work out. And this is where compromise comes in. It comes to be where pretty much one of them ends up giving in to what the other person wants them to do, is what it typically happens. But it's kind of interesting because as much as I value being part of George's show, just like I value being part of the podcast and all this stuff, and I care about the message of why we don't have free will, why it matters, at the same time, I feel like there's some things going on that could be considered dishonest by the way I feel about it. Because I tend not to state all my disagreements with my co-hosts. I don't state all my disagreements with George when I do my episodes for his show. And see, that's just it. It's not. I don't need to always state my disagreement with people because you know what? Quite honestly, I'm a passive person, and I know that, and I don't want to fight. I don't want to argue with people. And so I guess it seems like, based on a recent email I got, it seemed like George almost had the idea that I was on the same page with him about the pantheism thing. I'm really not. It's just that I'm just going to let him do his pantheist thing because, quite honestly, there's no talking him out of it. And there's a lot of things that I'm letting go for the sake of the bigger message. But really, I feel like the videos that I record on my YouTube channel, when I'm feeling like it, when I'm in the mood and on my free time, and when I just am passionate about a topic, those are my best videos. When I'm trying to look professional and I'm trying to talk about a topic that someone else has assigned to me, no, I'm not that passionate about it. I'm really not. And I think it shows because people can tell when you're into something or not. And that's the difference. there is a big difference between doing what you want to do and what someone else wants you to do. And so this is one of those things that I need to be aware of in my life. This is one of those things where I need to not let other people push me into doing things I'm not comfortable with, and it's really hard setting those boundaries. And so I just wanted to, be honest in this video and explain a few things about how I feel like I'm out of character when I'm trying to do the videos George wants me to do. And it's interesting because I just don't quite feel right about it because I want to say things the Chandler style. I don't want to say everything George style. George has his style. He can say things the way he wants, and I should say things the way I want. You know what I mean? Even if that means that I'm not on his show. So that's what I have to say about it for now. So, bye.